All right, so today I'm going to go ahead and dive into the broadcast first, and then we'll go to the campaigns and then move on to the Zapier leads. So I'm kind of reversing things up a little bit to try to start off with the easier stuff first and then work towards the harder stuff. So basically broadcasts, it's in your CRM. If you go to, okay, so campaigns and broadcasts, okay, good. So the broadcast section here under CRM, that's going to go ahead and bring you to where you can do single emails that'll go out to either one person or your whole group of contacts. So this is going to be like, maybe for these examples I'm going to show you here, I'm going to do like my preferred lender kind of email, and then maybe like a request review email. Okay. So then that way you have the email templates made and you don't have to continue on like rewriting out the same thing over and over again each time you want to send those types of emails out to your clients. This way you have it saved in your PrimeAgent system, and you could just, maybe you want to fine tune it a little bit for that particular person, but at least the main gist of your emails are already created and you don't have to recreate them each and every time. Okay, so let's go ahead and go here to create edit template, and then we'll go ahead and click begin. So what we're going to want to do is then click create broadcast template, and then we'll go ahead and name it. So in this case, I'm going to do which one do I have in my notes here? The lender one first. Lender email. Well, and then that'll be whatever for you. Nobody's going to see this except for yourself. It's just going to be the name that you look for when you go to send it out each time. So that'll be the lender email that you can send off maybe to clients. Okay, and then you now have the ability to select a different it's like the template itself, which actually let's before we create it, let's take a look at these templates so you have an idea of what they are. So let me go back here and quit this wizard and kind of give you a better idea of what these look like, so kind of have an idea what to select. So we just go to the send broadcast, we'll take a look at the pre-made templates. And really, the two main ones you're going to be using here is the blank template single column, and then the blank template with the logo and without the logo. And we can take a look at that. So this is, you've seen this, it's kind of the traditional one here, where you put in your own title and then the content of your email, but it has the logo up the top. Where this one without the single column is just a single column without that logo, but it also doesn't include the little title up here. So this one's good for, maybe you want to start off with an image at the top, or you just want to have more of a, the standardized looking email going out with your signature in it, line in it, then this is better. But if you want to have that Realty Executives logo in it, this one here is also available for you. Okay, so now that we know what those look like, we're going to go back to our, create the template, and then begin. We'll go ahead and create the template, and then I'll just paste that name in, lender clients to email. And then for this one, let's use, let's see, what did I have on here? This one is with the logo for example, and then I have the review one, which I have an image that I'll show you how to put in there without the logo. So whichever one you want to use, but this is just for example purposes anyways. And then I have my kind of templates here already made. So this one, I'm just going to do the subject line. So if we come back here, we'll enter in our subject line. We have our template name, subject line, and then maybe just throw that in the title as well. And then you bold it up a little bit. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and paste the content that I have. And I'll explain this in a little more detail once I get it into the email body itself, okay? So I'm just going to paste that in, kind of clean up some of that. All right, so what do we have here? So this little information here, the recipient first name, that's what we call the mail merge. So what it's going to do is pull in the first name of whatever contact you have in your database. Okay, so whatever their first name is, so the recipient's first name. And if I get rid of that and show you how to put that in, if you just go over to this mail merge here and then recipient's first name, you have the ability to do the full name, first name, or last name. And then there's a bunch of the senders, which would be your information. And you don't necessarily need to use those for yourself, but for these examples here, I can share with you guys. And if you wanted to just copy and paste it and put it in, then that way your name will pull in regardless of, this is just a template that, if you copied and pasted it, your name's going to go in there without even typing it in. It's just going to automatically be added in there, just like the recipient's name would be. Okay. And then here's just some text, blah, 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 blah. Here's some stuff. Here's the people that I know where you could insert your information. And then, for the people, you could put in their emails or phone numbers, or do they have a pre-approval form that you can link? So that's going to be something that you can include based upon, what your lenders provide you, or what you're going to share over. And then just for the example, I included a couple like links for, for them to maybe 10 questions to ask their lender, broker, and then also some mortgage pre-approval checklist that kind of gives them some ideas of what they are going to need to get going. So this way you're kind of, providing a little bit more for them. And then once you have that completed, which this is all whatever you want to do here. I'm just kind of showing you how you can create the broadcast. You don't necessarily have to use any of the ideas from the actual wording or anything here itself, but this is, once you have all of the content you want within your email, that's all set up, then you can just go to save changes. And then now you have your broadcast template created and saved. So you can go over to send broadcast now if you were going to send it right away. What all that basically does is bring you back to CRM broadcasts. So you're back in the exact same place you started with by going to broadcast. So, and this is how now you would send the email once you are ready to share it with the client. In this case, maybe you've created this email, but it's, you sent it out to some people and you're going back now to send it again. You're going to come back to the broadcast where we're at and then click begin now. So this is the only step that you need to remember to get to these. You just need to click this custom saved. These are all the pre-built ones here. And then the custom saved is going to be the one that we just created, named lender email to clients. And I have a lot of templates already in here, so I need to scroll down to L for lender email to clients. Here we go. And then I'll click use this. And now we have our template that we previously made ready to send out. So now, you would probably have your people already in here. You would be typing them in each and every time. But if you wanted this template that I could share with you, then you would have to fill those in yourself. But otherwise, you're pretty much ready to go. You can just now, once you could send a test yourself to make sure that it looks the way that you want it. Otherwise, you would go ahead and go to next step. One little thing here, this send options. So if you wanted to schedule this out, you'd be able to schedule this to send at a later date. Otherwise, it's pre-selected to go send right now. Okay. And then you just go to next step. And now this is where you select the people that you want to send it to. So in this case, this is going to be something that you'd probably send to just an individual client. So you just select from this right side that has the individuals. This left side over here, these are all your groups. So if you wanted to send it to like a full group of, however you have your people grouped in your database here, you'd be able to either select a single group or select multiple groups or select all your groups if you want to send it. In this case, with the lender email, you're not going to send it out to everybody. You're just going to be sending it out to that one individual at the time. So you would just select this one individual. But all of these people here are all the people in your different groups. Okay. So you don't need to select a group and then select the person, it's either or. You select either from this side or this side. Okay. All right. then we'll go to next step. So this broadcast title here, let me just go lender email to client X, whoever that client is. And then this is going to be, this is really for you, the title. And this is, why do you need to set this? This is for you after you've sent it. And maybe you wanted to go back and look and see if your client opened it or they clicked on one of the links that you sent them. You'd be able to go back into your broadcast history now and then look at what, if they opened it or what they did once they received it, okay? So we can go ahead and click send, and it'll go ahead and send off to that person that you selected. So let's do one more just so we can kind of, so this time I'm gonna do the review email. So just to kind of reinforce what we did here. So I'm gonna go to CRM broadcasts, and then we're gonna go to create edit template and click begin. This time we're gonna select the, let me go review. Review email, we're gonna name that one. And then this time I'm gonna go without the logo. So I'm just gonna go single column and click OK. So here, let me grab my template. Excuse me. So I just have like, how'd I do? Which you could probably come up with something a little bit more creative than that. But yeah, for this, that's what I came up with real quickly. And then we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this in, and then we'll go ahead and go through this as well. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an image at the top. I just made a quick image just so I could show you how to put an image in. So we have image up here. So say we want to start off with like an image at the top of our the body of our email. So I'm going to just go ahead and choose the file from my computer. I request no. Where did that save? Oh, here we go. What is going on here? That's weird. Let's see what happens here, because I was showing a file was successful. Oh, okay. I don't know, that's weird. I'm showing the wrong preview image, but this is the image here. I'm just gonna, just for something related to reviews. And then let's paste that in. So now here we go. We have, you know, the recipient first name that we talked about before, which is like the mail merge, where you put that in, where it's going to automatically name, put their first name in there. And then this just has, you know, some stuff about, you know, how they, you know, help them with their finding their home in whatever city, you know. And these I have on the resource page. I don't know if you've been there, but there's a bunch of different review templates. This one's for like local hero or something like that. I forget exactly what they named it, but it's a pretty good little template that you can get from the resource page, or I could share it with you as well. But also what I wanted to show you here is what you can do if you wanted. I mean, this is up to you. I mean, you might have a particular place that you want everybody to go leave you a review, whether it's, you know, your Google My Business or your Yelp or your Facebook or your Zillow or whatever it may be. But you could also give them a few different options. And like we have here, you know, you don't need to leave multiple reviews, but you'll be prompted to log into your account, because Google, it'll ask you to log into your account. Yelp, it'll ask you to log into your account. Zillow will ask you to log into your account. So, and Facebook as well. So maybe they have an account with one of these, but not the other two. So there might be more likely to go to that one that they already have an account with. So they don't have to go now to Zillow and create an account just to leave you a review if that's the only option that you sent them. So, I mean, you don't have to do it this way. This is just a way to do it. If you wanted, you could do something like that. And let me show you kind of where you can get these. So I'm already in the Zillow account for the Zapier. So let me go over here. And if we go over to profile, you'd log into your account, and then let me see. Oh, that's my account. Let me go to settings here. Oh, sorry, I kind of lost track of where I was supposed to be going here. Oh, it's here. A request review, there we go. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's going to be this send the client direct link to your review form. So you could just click that button and then copy this link here. All right, and then you'd come back to PrimeAgent, highlight Zillow, click the little insert link button, and then you could paste in that review link. Okay. These are optional, so you could title this. You could, put Zillow review in here or something, and I'll show you what that. Basically, when you hover over a link and it kind of has a description of the link, that is what this the title is. But that's optional. And then this target is also optional. By none, what it would do is, in most cases, it's going to open up in a new window. But you know how sometimes when you click a link, it just takes you to the website. And then other times when you click a link, it opens up a new tab and then it leaves you on the existing place that you're at and then opens up a new tab. That's what new window is. Usually I select new window, but that's going to be up to you. Click OK. And then we now see our link in there. And then when we hover over it, see how it says Zillow review? That was our title that we selected for it. So that's kind of what those little things are for. And I mean, ideally, it's best practice to put the title in there because that's like for, it also helps with the, if somebody may be visually impaired or something like that, and then their computer needs to read it out what the link is. But that's what it's for. Yelp, what you can do for Yelp is you could just put the link directly to your profile. I do not believe that they have like a request review link because they claim that people don't solicit for Yelp reviews on their platform, which is BS, but that's what they claim. So they don't give you an ability to share out, to request a review from your Yelp, but you can just link right to your Yelp profile. And then Google is going to be it's similar to Zillow. So if you're on your Google My Business profile, and then you'll see this like write a review, or you can go to your review section. Have no reviews. Let me go back here, home. But it'll give you on your home page here the ability to share the review form. So you can just copy this link, okay? Link copied, and then that will go back to broadcast and then insert the link, Google review, and then new window, okay. So there you go, you have your links kind of created. We didn't put one in there for Yelp. Let me just I'll just put a generic yelp.com in there for example purposes. And then we'll just leave that alone. All right, so that's kind of how you do that. If you were to put an image in, and if you wanted to link to different places on your, to your different profiles, okay? And then now we would just click save once again, and then we could send our broadcast. Same thing, if you have this made, you're coming back, a week, 2 weeks, a month, years later, and you want to resend it out, you would go to CRM, broadcasts, begin, and then you'd go to your custom saved here to where you'd find your request reviews template that we created. Sorry, I have a million reviews here. Review request, use this. And now you'd be able to, I think this is the one I created for the last class here, previous step. That didn't go, that had the technical issues. Let's go back to these. Must have been review email. Review email, use this. There we go. So you can see how there's some of these extra spaces in here sometimes. You might just need to, even though those weren't necessarily in there when we made the template, kind of, well, I guess they were. It just looks a little bit different when you're actually going to send it. The spaces, each line gives it a little bit of extra space. So just take a look at that before you send it, make sure everything's the way that you want it. And then once again, you could either send it right now or send it at a later date. Okay, and then you just go ahead and go to next step, select the person or groups that you want to share it with, and then click next step. This time, once again, you'll title it, review email to client X, just so we know if we want to go back. And I'll show you here in a second where you can go find that information. Now that you have it titled, you just hit send and it'll go off to your person. Okay, so that's the broadcasts and how to make the templates and then how to reuse your templates after you've created them. The campaigns now, let's take a look at those. So from CRM, we'll go to campaigns. So so this is the paid tool. So it is $9.99 a month for 1,000 contacts. Just so you know, or if you have to grow and I'll pay later, this will be included in your plan as well. It does come with the e-newsletter, which we're not going to go too deep into, but just so you know, you can customize it. So you'd be able to go preview and edit an upcoming newsletter. But since the newsletter just came out on Tuesday, they don't have the next month's already ready in here for you to edit. But if you were to, you could go in, if once it gets closer to the time that they send it, they give you, you are on the grow now pay later. Okay, so this is, you would be able to go in here. Usually it's going to give you a couple weeks to before they send it. And then you can come in here and edit the information. Basically it's going to have the same stories in there, but you can kind of put something up at the top of the email. So you can kind of put your own message up at the top, and then it'll have the 3 kind of generic real estate or home related stories in there. Okay, so that's the e-newsletter, but there's just there's a little customization there. But let's take a look at how you can create your own templates. So let's take a look at the campaigns first, and I can kind of show you what's existing in here. So you'll know what's in here, and maybe it'll give you an idea of what you might want to create if you did want to create a custom campaign. And I will show you how you can create a custom campaign on your own here in just a second. Actually, yeah, I'll continue on, but I forgot to show you the broadcast history, but I can go back and show you that in a minute, but let's just continue on. I'll make a note here, the history, because campaign also has the history. So you can go and see who opened your campaign. So so this here, you have like the first time home buyer campaign. So what you'd be able to do is, say you wanted to use this campaign on somebody that's pre-existing. Let's take a look at them first. So you can do full view, and it's going to show you what these are. So this is, what's stopping you from finding your next dream home, blah, 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 blah. So this is a first time home buyer one. So you cannot edit these directly from within here. So basically, this is the way that it's made, and you can't customize it from here. You need to create a new custom campaign and pull in these templates and customize them. And I'll show you what that means here in a second. But from here, these are just the campaign, the photos, the words are what they are. And then you just activate it on that person. So this one starts day 1. And then, so 1 week after the start, this one will come out. And then, first time home buyer could be exciting and a bit confusing, blah, 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 blah. So each one of these is going to be, kind of the next step of trying to get them to either contact you or, start to search for homes or use you as their agent. So this one goes out 15 days after start. So as you can see, this is just, it's going to be multiple emails over a period of time. And then, then 4 weeks after start, then here we go. Don't I have to add my DRE signature to my CMA? Yeah, you should. So I can show you that here. So like me, I put my DRE with my name, and then it goes out on all my emails, and it goes out everywhere. And I could show you that in a second, how we did that. But it will display on your website, but this should have your DRE, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so these are the different emails, and you can take a look at those. We'll keep going. But basically, I want to show you how day one it starts, and then, in this case, 1 week later, the next one goes out, and then the next one goes out about another week after that, continue on, and then it's kind of just dripping on them. So if we want to use this one now, you could either go to next step here, but let's say you're back here and you want to use it. So you just be able to click use this, and then we're back to where you just select from your individual contact, or you can send to a group. And with the campaigns, it does have the ability, certain one of these. So some of them say only the leads currently in this group, and then send leads included in this group as of the scheduled send date. So basically what this means is if you want to select, like say this test group to receive whatever campaign, then you would want to, if you just wanted the people who are in that group right as of this day, as of like the day that you're sending it out, then that's the one that's currently in this group. But if you wanted this test list and you're going to be continuing on adding people to this list, and you want all those people as well to be included in that campaign, then make sure you select the second one, because that's going to take anybody who's on that send date, whoever's in that group, not just who's currently in the group as of right now. So this will be only the people as of right today, and this will be any of the person that even if you've added them after today, as long as they've been in that group on that send date that the email is going to be sent out on. Okay. But in this case, I'm just going to select myself as my dummy one here, and then next step here, you can either start it. It doesn't start that same like instantly. This one, it'll start either the next day, or you can start it beyond that next day. So let's go ahead and start, and then click activate campaign. Okay, and then now we have somebody subscribed. So how do you make that one of these from scratch now? So if we're back in our CRM campaign section, and then we're going to go to this create edit template. Okay, and then begin. So now we're going to create a new campaign. I'm going to call this just class test. And then, so now we have a couple options here. So we have like event-based, so birthday and an anniversary, and they mean like home purchase anniversary, which are optional fields within your CRM. So when you have a contact in your database, you can put a birthday in there as well as a home purchase anniversary date in there. So if you want to create custom like birthday emails that go out to your clients that have birthdays in your CRM, then that would be something that you could do off a birthday, off an event, which is going to be the event within your CRM for that contact. Interval based, that's going to be what we're going to use, but that's what, like the one that we just showed you, that day one it starts, then, in that case, it was like 6 days later, the next one came out, then 15 days after the first, the next one came out. So that's going to be based on, the intervals. Or you could do a date based or holiday based. So that would be like, I want this email to go out on this date, or I want my holiday, to go out on this holiday. So it's not going to be like 5 days after this one goes out, and 5 days after this one goes out. It's going to be more, it goes out on that specific date, similar to the event-based. But the event-based is going to be based off of the events that you inputted into your CRM for that contact, where the holiday date is just going to be a date related to a holiday, not specifically related to that individual contact. Okay. And then interval based is going to be, like I said, which we're going to use here, where it's just, day one, this one, day 3, this one, day 7, this one. So let's go ahead and use that. And next step. So here is what I was talking about, where you can go ahead and create a template based off of the ones that are already in PrimeAgent, or you can create one that's a blank template that you would insert whatever you want in there. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to kind of do both of them here in the same one. So you can kind of see what that would look like. Okay. So if we go ahead and use one from an existing template, that's going to be the templates that are in the ones that we just looked at, first time home buyer. There's going to be a new seller campaign for 2020, a new buyer campaign. There's the home purchase anniversaries and then birthdays. E-newsletter, holidays, which, I mean, these aren't going to, those are specific to holidays and the home purchase and stuff, but we're just going to kind of look at these, maybe the home buyer, let's look at the home seller instead. So we can take a look at this one, and maybe, you want to use this template for, you met somebody or whatever, for whatever reason you're using it, you want to insert this one in. So you like this email and you want to use it. So you would just go ahead and put copy. So now that's going to create your first, the start of your campaign, of your new campaign that we just did, that class test campaign that we created. Okay. So this one now is going to be the start of the campaign. So we're going to select this box here. Okay. And then from here on out, the other ones we're going to select, 3 days after the start or whatever. So we'll take a look at that, but this is our first one. So we're going to just select that as our first, the start of our campaign. And then here, you're able to now edit that text, like I said. When you just use the campaign, the default campaign, you're not able to go edit that text before it's sent out to the clients. But this way you can, if you like the template of those, you can pull them in and then edit that, like fine tune that text to make it, sound like you or whatever, however you want to customize it. But you would be able to go ahead and customize that. And then once you have that customized, you would go ahead and click Save Changes. And then now you're able to insert a new one, the next email in your campaign. Okay. So like I said, you could either insert a blank one here, or maybe you want to continue on. You just wanted to change the text of these, which you can go ahead and move. If you want to move on to seller 2, you would just be able to copy that one, pull it in, and then maybe you want to change, whatever texted here you want to change. And then you'd be able to, now you don't use this start campaign. You're going to select, maybe do you want it to be weeks or days after the start. So maybe we want this one to go out on day 2. Okay. So day 1, this one, day 2, this one. You can, I know they have it like 6 to 7 days apart, which to me, that's a little bit too far apart. Maybe you don't want to do it each day. Maybe you want to, maybe day 3 instead of day 2. But usually you want to hit them harder at the beginning and then kind of spread it out as it gets later. So I would suggest doing it days after the start of the campaign. So I would do it like maybe day 2. So that way, you're kind of hitting, I don't know, that just seems to be I don't know. It's just kind of the way it works. It seems like to get the best results anyways, is to hit them harder at the beginning. So that way they don't forget about you right away. You're staying top of mind each day. They're really, it's like you're hitting them with another email. Or maybe you're calling them, or maybe you wanted to do 3 days after because you're going to call them on day 2. Just think about that. But that's going to be how you just select, when the second one is going to be. You can change that text and then hit save. Okay, so now we have 2 of our emails in here. So now we'd be able to go ahead and do another one if we wanted. So let's maybe go and copy the 3rd one here. So we'll go down and copy the 3rd one. And then we'd be able to, edit that text if we wanted. And now we'd go maybe day 5 here. And then just hit save. So now we've kind of created our 3 emails that we have in our campaign that we would be able to activate on somebody now. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this one alone because that's how, and then I'll go ahead and do one with the blank templates here. But that's how you do it if you want to use the existing templates, but just edit the text. You're not able to edit the photos, unfortunately. Okay. So let's just go ahead and quit that one. And then we have our, so now if we go to activate a campaign, begin, we're going to see our custom saved over here. And then we should have our class test. There we go, class test. So if we want to go ahead and use that, we just go ahead and use this. And then once again, we'd be able to select it and activate it on your contact. Okay. Now let's go take a look at one if you were going to create them on your own. So here I have, let me go to, I'm not probably going to do all these days, but basically this is, so maybe you didn't want to use something with like the image that looks more like a marketing email. You want to have something that's just kind of just text based with a little bit of text, because a lot of times smaller, less text, and then in these, gets a little bit better result because it's more to the point. So let's take a look at this one. So I have day one, and and I could send these to you, Donna, if you wanted. But basically they're just kind of, I received your request. So that would be something that, like right after you receive the lead, you could activate on, this client or this potential client. Okay. So, and I'll talk about, I'm going into the leads. So this will be the last thing that we talk about here. And then we're going to go into the lead really and finish up on how you could import the leads from other sources into your CRM. Any lead coming from PrimeAgent or from like your agent website or from your on-demand leads will come right into your CRM already. But anything that comes in from another source, I'll show you that here in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and copy this title. So right now we're going to go ahead and create a new campaign, but this time we're going to create it based on like a blank template. Okay, so we're going to create a campaign. I'm going to go class test 2. This time we'll do intervolt again. Intervolt, not bolt. And then this time we're going to insert blank template. So here you do like what we looked at earlier with the single column with logo or without logo. I'm going to go without logo and just get a very basic looking email here. Okay. So it looks like doesn't look like a fancy marketing email. Okay. It looks like you kind of sent it to them quickly. Here we go. So let me just copy this body here. And once again, I've included these mail merges. So you can just copy and paste this stuff in. Let's go ahead and copy and paste that in. So now it's going to say like, whatever the person's name is, want to quickly email you, let you know that I will be contacting you soon regarding your inquiry. And you reach me directly at your phone number as well. And then it'll have your name. And like I said, you could just type your name, your phone number in here, or your name, but if you were just to copy and paste this in, that'll just automatically pull it in anyways. So you don't technically have to do it. It's just going to pull it in from your whatever you have listed in your PrimeAgent account. All right. So this one, once again, we're going to use it as the start of the campaign. And then we already have our subject line, we have our body in, and we're going to go ahead and save. And then you just repeat it over. So now we're going to go ahead and insert blank template. We're going to do it with a single column, no logo. Okay. And then we're going to go back to our little pre-written templates here. Copy and paste that in. And then we'll be able to move on to our next one. So I mean, if you have some of the stuff already kind of worded in your head, or you have templates that you've already created, you've written out, or maybe you previously sent these emails to people before, and you can go and grab some stuff that you've already sent or whatever the case may be. Or like I said, Donna, I'll get this emailed over to you where you can copy and paste all these if you wanted as well. So now that you have that, your subject line in, your body in, we're going to say maybe this one goes out on day 2 or 2 days after they start, and then save. And then you just continue on throughout all these. Like I said, we won't go through each and every one of them because it's just the same thing over and over again. But once you have those done, you just activate it on your clients that, or your new leads or whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and paste that, copy and paste. And then this one, maybe we'll do day 4 days after. and then save. So now you have our campaigns. So we have day 1, email, day 2, email, and on day 4, another email, and you can continue on to do all your different follow-up emails within your campaign. So you can see here, I kind of start, like I said, we kind of day 1, day 2, day 3, day 5, as kind of get them, hit them harder at the beginning, and then you start to space them out a little bit. Day 7, day 12, day 16, day 24. So, if they're not replying back to you, then, there's not as much interest, and that's why we start changing. Please add the signature and photo to the bottom of all the campaigns emails sent out. Yeah, so that's automatically going to be pulled in. But I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay. So we're basically done with this. Let's get out of here, and I can show you that right now. So we have that saved, and then once again, you'd be able to go ahead, quit wizard, and activate that campaign on those people once again. And then you have campaign history here. This is like similar to the broadcast history. So you're able to see the emails that you sent, which I've just sent out all these test ones. So, but how many people it was sent to, was it completed? And these aren't going to show opened. So it was not opened. And then see how it has like tracking details. Now that'll be like what if they clicked on anything, what they clicked on, what link they clicked on, that sort of thing. Okay. And then that's going to be the same in your campaigns with your campaign history. And this should tell you what campaigns you have active in here as well. So we have our different campaigns that are active. So this is where you could like say, you wanted to delete a campaign off somebody, but there's an easier way to do that. This just lists all your campaigns. So say you want to pause a campaign, you could pause that or delete the campaign from that campaign from being active. But let's take a look at your CRM really fast. So I have, what's it, Roger Allen is my ROGER. Let me pull him up. All right, so say we wanted to remove a campaign from this person. Maybe, we had them in a buyer campaign, and then, then they called us to actually see a house, and we didn't want to keep sending them emails about how they can, reach out to us because they have already reached out to us. So you would just be able to go to that contact, and then you'd be able to go to view edit, and then it should have down here all the campaigns. Okay. So we have all the campaigns that person is in, and then say we want to get them out of that buyer campaign. So we would just say, I use this as my dummy account, so I have lots of stuff in here. But maybe we want to get them out of that buyer campaign. We just unsubscribe them from it. So now they're not going to receive more emails about how you could be their agent when they've already reached out to you and you've made them a client. Okay, so that's that. Let's move on now here. So like what you were asking about. So how do you add your stuff? Basically, it's going to be in there. So all you need to do is go to my account and just make sure it's filled out. So by default, it's going to pull in your photo and whatever and your contact information. So let's take a look at that. If we go to my profile, so how here I have my display name. So my first name is my first name, last name is my last name, but then my display name has my DRE number in it. Where you do have your license in here, but this will be displayed on your website and not necessarily in each email body. And I know we've contacted PrimeAgent a number of times about this, but basically not all states require it and blah, 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 and they haven't added it in there. So a way to get around that is by putting it into your display name. And then that way it's going to go, all of the emails that you send out, it'll have your DRE in your name as well as in the signature of your email. Okay, so you just make sure that this information is filled out the information that you want in there. And then you can show, like, if I want this on my profile or website, but that's really more related to your website because by default, it's going to pull in your address for your display name, your phone, email, and then office location, as well as website if you have one listed. Okay. And then here in the photo, my photo section, that's where you would, your photo that you have in here is going to be the one that's going to be in the bottom of all those emails. All right. So let's see, did I get those? Don't I have to add my DRE to my signatures? Yeah, so that one is where you can put that in the display name. There's a way to do that. And then, so yeah, and by default, you're going to have that information in your, those signatures. Or I mean, the bottom of all those emails from the broadcast or the campaigns will have that same kind of bottom section in there. All right. So now the lead part, which is, so basically in CRM here, you have the contact manager. And then we have this Zapier lead sync here. So this is where you'd be able to connect PrimeAgent to the Zapier. We say you have a Zillow lead, a Facebook lead, maybe a Realtor.com lead. Those come from those sources and then come to PrimeAgent, okay? So let's go on. So if we do the Zapier lead sync, it's gonna go ahead and give you some of this information here that you're gonna need in order to connect your PrimeAgent to Zapier, okay? So in here, what you can do is I would copy this. I don't know that you need to copy it right here, but just so you have it copied, and then click the Zapier link, okay? I already have it open over here. It's gonna bring you over to connect your PrimeAgent to Zapier, okay? So that you can just, so of course you'll need to have a Zapier account. So if you don't have that created, it's zapier.com, zapier.com. You can go ahead and create your account. Once you have it created and you're logged in, come back over to PrimeAgent and then click this link here. It'll bring you back so you can accept the invite. So that we've accepted that and it brought us over here. So now we need to go to My Apps. So click this little button here, My Apps. And then we need to select PrimeAgent. And then we have PrimeAgent, the beta one. So don't select this 1.0, select this one up top, the beta, okay? And then it's gonna go ahead and connect it. And then we have, and yep, we did need that API key copied. So let me show you what that is here really fast. I'll paste it in, but on PrimeAgent here, I forgot if you needed this right away or not, but you could go ahead, you just click to copy, that copied it, okay? And then that way we have that ready and we paste it back into this Zapier area here. Okay, and I have it paste, continue, yes. So now technically our PrimeAgent is connected to the Zapier, okay? So now we need to, so now any lead that comes in, it'll know where to go, but we need to tell it what to do here. So now that we can close out here for now, and then we're gonna go to our Zapier account, okay? So from the My Apps, we still need to connect, or we did that already, didn't we? My Apps. We should have the PrimeAgent listed in here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we already did that. So we have that connected. All right, so we're gonna start off by doing the Zillow. So what we need here is we need to go over now to Zillow. So if we go to our Zillow account, so this is from when we were looking at our reviews, you log in, you'll go to settings. In here, you'll see connect to my CRM or connect my CRM. And then you just have to add subscription. We'll select Zapier. And then we're gonna put in our email address that we used to create our Zapier account. Richard, N-E-V-I-L-E at realtyexecutives.com. Okay, there we go, save. And we have that added in. So now we're done with Zillow. We're gonna go ahead back to our Zapier. And now we're gonna put in, so number one, when this happens. So we want when a lead comes in from Zillow. So we're gonna put in Zillow Tech Connect, we'll select, and then a new contact, continue. So then we want when a new lead comes in to Zillow, we'll test this out. This is coming in, continue, okay. So when this comes in, a lead comes in from Zillow, we want it to go to PrimeAgent, okay? So let's now type in Prime. And then we see our PrimeAgent here, we'll select that. And we want that to create a new lead. So Zillow lead comes in, comes through Zapier, and then puts it into our PrimeAgent account, all right? Continue. So we're gonna select our account, and that is our Richard Neville. All right, so now what we need to do here is we want this to be a Zillow lead, choose lead source, and then we need to kind of map our fields here. So first name is gonna go to first name, last name is gonna go to contact last name, email is gonna go to contact email, where that is here, contact email, phone number, contact phone number. And then we do have the comments, so the message. And the message will contain what property they're interested in. But you could also, this is gonna be like a side thing, because technically in PrimeAgent, the address is for the address of the actual contact and not the address of the property that they're interested in. So you could just leave this as is, and then you'll receive their information with the message. Or what you could do is, if you wanted to, even though this isn't their home address, if you wanted them to insert the address in, so then you know exactly what address it is, you would be able to map that out as well by putting in the address. But I don't know that that's the best route to go, because this isn't really their property that they live in. This is just the one they're interested in. And then you will have that listed here in the message. So that's gonna be up to you. I'm gonna leave it as is without putting it in there, and then click continue. So now what we can do is we can just test it. So if you test and continue, and then I should be receiving a text. Yep, I have the lead right here on my phone. And then it has been sent to my email. So now if you received it on your phone, or you check your email, you know, you got the text message on your phone, and then you can just turn this app on, and then you're done. You have your first Zap created. So any new lead that comes in through Zillow will go ahead and be added right into your PrimeAgent CRM. So let's do the Facebook one really fast. So now we just be back here, and then to make a Zap again. So this time we're going to use the Facebook lead ads, and then any new lead that's created. And then right here, we're going to have to select from our Facebook lead ads is Richard Neville. Okay. Continue. So here we're going to select our page. So back here, choose account. This is my account. I've already have authorized it. So in the last step, when we added it as one of my apps. So, but if you didn't connect your account previously, then it's going to ask you to connect your account. Okay. So now you're going to choose your page. I'm going to go ahead and choose my RE. Oops. What's going on? Customize lead page. Why isn't it? So we have test, we have success. Go back to our Zap here. New lead in Facebook, goes to my page, no options available. So I guess I don't have this connected properly. Let's go back here. Disconnect, and then try to reconnect to Facebook lead ads. So I probably, since
it's 12 o'clock.
I cut out all my manager businesses. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave everything here, and I can go back and fine tune that later. But I think that's what was blocking me. I cut out too much information in there for it to connect. So let's go back to my Zaps and then go ahead and edit this Zap here. And then we're back to our lead ad. So now if we select our account, and then our pages. It should list my pages in here. Yep, here we go. I'll do my example page, and then I'm going to use the default any form. So you can connect this to a specific form if you've already have created a form in your lead ads, but otherwise you just do the any form, and that's going to select any form that's been filled in from any ad that you create. We'll go ahead and submit that information to your PrimeAgent account. We'll do a test. So Facebook doesn't have the first and last name, so they just have the full name. So that's going to be just something to think about here when we connect it to PrimeAgent. And to create a new lead, select our account, finish, and now we have to map our fields once again after we select Facebook from our lead source. And then, like I mentioned here, it pulls in the full name. So you might want to, just so you know, once that lead comes in, the first name is going to be their full name. So you might need to go back in and then put their last name in the last name section. But at least get that information into your PrimeAgent account. Okay. So select that one for first name. Last name we'll leave blank since we don't have an option for that. We're going to go to email for email and then phone for phone. And then if you had any or other sort of information in your lead ad, you'd be able to pull that in. So I'm going to go ahead and put in like let me see here, maybe the campaign name so I know what, or the ad name so I know which lead it's coming from. Okay. So then that way I know that it's coming for this campaign name that the Facebook ad campaign that I'm running for this lead ad. Okay. And then go ahead and click continue. And then we can test it out. So if it's working, I'm going to get a text message on my phone right now, and which I did. Received new lead from Zapier with the test information in there. All right. So if we wanted to use that, then we just select to turn this on and we're all set. Okay. Premium app upgrade. So you aren't going to be able to use this app unless you pay a little bit extra for Zapier, unfortunately. It allows you to create it until you turn it on, and then it tells you the cost point. But that's how you do it. And if you wanted to, you do have the ability to download the steps. If you go back to your contact manager and go back to the Zapier lead sync, you could view this guide, and that'll go through all the steps that I just went in throughout, this section of the Zapier in a downloadable format as well. Okay. I will touch on this last one here really quickly, but we're not going to go through the whole setup process for the realtor.com. So if you wanted to create a Zap, this time, since we use that parser, we're going to need to use that email parser. Okay. Because realtor.com doesn't have a lead area for you to connect, like an API key or anything like that. It requires you to send a lead using a lead parser with this custom email address. So let me show you how you create that and how you put it in here really fast. And then that's where we're going to leave this. And if you need any help with that, you can let me know. So we're going to use this email parser here. And then we're going to select a trigger for a new email. So a new email that has been sent maybe through the realtor.com lead that you will get. It'll come through Zapier and then put it into your PrimeAgent CRM. So now we need to select for our email parser. Continue. So we need to now, let me see here, continue. So this is where we would do we would create so if we go back over to our Zapier and go to our email parser. Authorize, we want to create a mailbox here. So let's go over to our email parser, which is parser.zapier.com. And then this create a mailbox is where you can, basically that's creating an email address, okay? So send email. Sorry, coming. So we need to create a mailbox. Oh. So it already did, okay. So if we go to our mailboxes, it'll list them here. So this will basically, this is what this is an email address that will send that information from whatever lead source. So in this case, realtor.com. If we just copy this email address, we can paste it into our, if we're in our realtor.com section, if we're in our settings, and then we are in our lead settings, we will see that we can add this send leads to. We'll select lead parser and then paste in our email address. You can send a test to it. So then we make sure that we receive it. Let's see here. And then here we go. All right, we got it. So we're going to go ahead and save that. So now we're all set. We have that connected through our realtor.com. If we come back and make a zap with the Zapier, the lead parser, new email, continue, select Zapier, there we go. And then we're gonna use our email here that we selected and put into our realtor.com and then continue. So test trigger. So now this is our email that went in, continue. And then we want to go into PrimeAgent. Create lead, there we go. Select our account, continue. Now we're going to go ahead and do realtor.com. And then we can go in and so we have our first name, let's see, sender name, and then last name. So this is similar where it's just going to have their full name. Email is going to be email, sender email, phone number, sender phone number, and so on. So you just go ahead and complete all this information. Where's the ease? Sender. Doesn't look like they include the phone number on here. Must just be the email. And then message, we can go ahead and put the message, body, and then so on. Once you have that all filled in, you'd go ahead and click continue. All right, and you can go ahead and test. Let's see. And then I received a lead. Boom, right there. So now they're all set. You just turn that on, and then that one's going to turn on. It's not this one doesn't have any additional cost to it. All right. So now all of our leads through Zillow, they're all going to come through the Zapier and then into our PrimeAgent CRM. All right, everyone. I appreciate you watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. Let's see here. Looks like answered all these ones so far, so I think we're good. I appreciate it, and if you have any questions, again, let me know. And need help getting this stuff set up, or you have any issues getting it going, let me know, or problems, just send me an email or give me a call, or we can schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting. All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye.